Alrighty, well, welcome everyone. We will go ahead and let folks filter in. Thank you so much for joining today's session. To give just a brief overview once again of what Light is, we are a community of leaders working together to generate healing and transformation by centering people first in health. So our mission states that we are an anti-establishment, anti-racist space for critical conversations and dialogue in public health. We publish diverse authors and artists, both seasoned and emerging, new and unheard, particularly from populations that are underrepresented in public health. So we also publish their fiction, nonfiction, poetry, art, letters, and other literary works. And we aim to advance work that pushes the margins of public health. Our vision is to boldly center the public within public health with a generation of leaders igniting generational healing and transformation. So our festival is themed around mental health and wellness this year. And we have our wonderful presenters here to speak with us today. So first off is Virginia Reed Murphy, who holds a master's in counseling psychology with a concentration in drama therapy from the California Institute of Integral Studies in San Francisco. After 10 years of studying and performing playback theater, she founded Playback Memphis, a vibrant nonprofit whose mission is to bring stories to life in a safe space to unlock healing, transformation, and joy. Virginia is also a certified mindfulness meditation teacher through the Greater Good Science Center at the University of California at Berkeley, as well as a skilled facilitator delivering dynamic training in cultural humility, strength-based mindfulness, and emotional intelligence in leadership. Next, we have Gio López, who is a director of training and applied playback theater for Playback Memphis, where she has been a professional ensemble member since 2010. In 2005, she immigrated to the United States, and in 2006, she founded the bilingual theater group Casa Teatro in Memphis. Gio is a co-founder of the Latino Cultural Center of Memphis. She has a passion for social justice and has worked at the Mid-South Peace and Justice Center as a training director, where she facilitated hundreds of training sessions and as a board member of both Workers Interfaith Network and Comunidades Unidas and Una Voz. Sorry about that. And then one of our honorary members who is hopefully joining us is also Rhonda Woodfork-Johnson, who began to love and participate in the arts and its culture. Locally, she has graced many stages in Memphis and in the Tri-States, from Hatilu Theater, Evergreen Theater, Cannon Center for the Performing Arts, and The Pulpit is Not the Playground. So Rhonda served as actress, director, and assistant director for Blue City Culture, and she was nominated for and won the 2018 Diversity on Stage Award for Best Comedic Stage Actress, and also earned the coveted Ostrander Award as an ensemble member. And so with that out of the way, I will go ahead and pass it over to Gio and Virginia to lead us in our session today. Also, throughout the session, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and there will be a portion of time at the very end to go over that.
Thank you very much, Christian. Welcome. Welcome you. Welcome your bodies in the different ways you experienced yours. Maybe that includes chronic pain, strain, tension, or any other things. Welcome you, people with disabilities, visible or not visible. We welcome your whole being. We also welcome your emotions. Joy and bliss, grief, rage, indignation, contentment, disappointment, and all in between. Your emotions are welcome. Welcome your energy of this moment right now, right here. Maybe there is excitement energy. Maybe there is low energy. All the range of your energies are welcome in this space. Also, welcome neurodivergent people. Welcome. Welcome people who identify as woman, as man, trans, genderqueer, or others. Welcome our descendants. Welcome people who has African descendant, Black, African American, Asian descendant, Arab descendant, European descent, those who identify as Hispanic, Latinx, people indigenous to this land, or mixed, multiple descents, welcome to this space. Also welcome people who are not in the United States. Welcome whoever you are. Welcome all the languages that are spoken in this space as well. Welcome people who identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, heterosexual, pansexual, queer, or others for whom none of the labels fit. Welcome survivors. Welcome those who support you to be here, your family, your loved ones, the people that you consider your family. We welcome them as well. Welcome people with different faiths, religious traditions, faith practices, private practices that don't belong to any other tradition, as not agnostics, atheists, seekers. Welcome you. Welcome those dear to us who are not with us in this earth anymore. And I also would like to welcome those here in this room that in our lives that pass away, and welcome the ancestors. The ancestors who live in this land before us. In this specific case in Memphis, the Quapaw and Chickasaw tribes, natives who live in this area before the European came. I welcome their wisdom and their spirits to this space. And what are some of the other parts of our diversity that you would like to welcome in this space? I invite you to write it in the chat if you would like to welcome any other part of our diversity. Welcome. And now I'll pass it to Virginia.
Thank you, Gio.
Yes, sorry, I forgot something. Yes, and if you would like also to write in the chat, how was it for you to, listen in this welcoming? Maybe we will not read aloud all of the comments, but I also invite you to kind of like take a look on the chat in case somebody would like to write and say a couple words of how was this welcoming for you. Okay, and now I'll pass it to Virginia.
Thank you. I'll give folks just a few seconds to do that before I begin. Warm, golden, seen and heard. So I always appreciate a diversity welcome because it reminds me of this larger field of energy and history and diversity that we're always held in, that usually when we're in this part of our brains, we're moving too fast to honor and recognize. So thank you, Gio. And I want to celebrate that we were invited to deliver a presentation at the first Light Festival. So when I learned of leaders igniting generational healing and transformation and the vision for this work of a community of leaders working together to generate healing and transformation by centering people first in health, my heart literally exploded because it is so aligned with Playback Memphis's mission, vision, and values. And so I want to share a little bit about who we are and how we apply our special kind of theater in the context of public health. So Playback Memphis was founded in 2008. Our mission is to bring stories to life in a safe space to unlock healing, transformation, and joy. We train and employ professional artists and facilitators to use the unique art form of playback theater to engage diverse groups in a variety of settings. Playback it's a healing and restorative practice, and it emphasizes deep and empathetic listening to a community member who shares a personal story or experience and gets to see that brought to life. So just to give you a little sense of, that's sort of the official description. But we host public performances. That's one way that people can experience our art form. And if you were to arrive at a Memphis Matters performance, then one of the first things you might notice is this beautiful, diverse cross-sector of human beings from, we oftentimes have folks from every generation from, the first decade of their life to into their 90s. You might have people from across neighborhoods and all the ways that Gio invited us to be aware of our diverse identities. We're very intentional in making sure that when we are hosting a public performance, that everyone feels welcome. And so the first thing that happens is that we introduce and share our aspects of ourself and our identity and our feelings as a way of modeling the kinds of personal sharing and invitation to the community. And then we open the space. So we're a team of 14 actors and dancers and poets and musicians. And we invite community to come together and reflect on what is rich and wonderful in our shared community in Memphis, and also what is complex and challenging. And as you can imagine, oftentimes in our public performances, people are sharing personal stories that are very much connected to public health issues, stories around being impacted by community or police violence, stories of navigating a really broken healthcare system and having a chronic illness, and what's that like? And so they come and they get to be in a space where we're inviting this reflection, sharing stories, and seeing that played back. And when we play back our stories in playback, as actors, we're listening to the feelings and the needs of the tellers and expressing that, so that the teller walks away with just a strong feeling of being seen and heard and affirmed. And we believe that there is great wisdom in our stories. And so we invite people to pay attention to that, and with the idea that then this wisdom, if we can take it out into our lives and into the world and apply it, that it can help us solve many of the complex challenges that we face. So Playback is also part of an international community of playback theater companies across the globe. I think I saw someone was dialing in from Nigeria, and that's really exciting. We have a wonderful playback colleague in Nigeria, Damilola. And so there are playback theater companies on continents, 6 continents, and over 150 companies across the globe. And I think I'm going to pass it back to Gio now to talk a little bit about our conceptual framework and how we think about change in the application of playback. And then I'll come back and talk about some programming and how we apply playback theater in the context of public health.
Thank you, Virginia. So yes, our conceptual framework is basically to achieve our goal for catalyzing growth, healing, and flourishing through our programs. Christian, would you please run the slides? So Playback is a very unique organization that promotes personal healing in a very different way. We are transformative thinking, as Virginia mentioned, in all the identities of a person holds, and not only a person, but also a group of people as a body, and also a community as a culture. So we touch these different levels. The personal shift that, we believe that we need to start from inside ourselves. And how do we achieve that? So there's different ways that we can create awareness and holding in our own wisdom based on our experience. But for that, we need to have spaces for us to be trusted and to be no judging, and be able to reconnect with ourselves. And that way we can create a personal shift. And once we interact with other people in the same ways, then we can, we can feed each other's experiences, witnessing the experiences and the self-awareness of other people. And that's how we can create group shifts. Also making connections, a way to open the door for healing is when we can connect to ourselves and we can connect to others. And all this, it will ripple off in generating these cultural shifts, because we can not only transform or open space for transformation in one person, but not only in one group of people, but also in a community, in a whole community, if in a school, in a company, in a city. And that's how the different levels of transformation that we approach is making Playback very unique. The next slide, please. Thank you. So our programs, the areas of transformation through our programs are basically for growth, healing, and flourishing. We want people to get close to learn about mindfulness, to be more social emotional, have more social emotional skills, and be able to really start from inside out in this transformation journey. And then the healing, to be aware of our needs and what is that we need to restore our well-being. And for this, we also always working with equity and social healing, thinking that, the most we are investing in ourselves is also investing in the people around ourselves and our community. And hopefully this in the future, we'll create these communities flourishing in all the areas and all the spaces that we can be. And there is a lot of more to learn about Playback Memphis. If you would like to get more details, more information about our programs and how we apply this unique kind of theater, please write your email on the chat and we'll send you some information. Christian, would you get the next slide, please? Thank you. You also can find us on playbackmemphis.org, and you can connect us through our social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo to check some of our videos. And if you want to be connected with us, please leave your email on the chat and we'll get back to you. And now I'll pass it to Virginia.
Okay, thank you, Gio. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk more specifically about how Playback Memphis applies its unique art form as a strategy and tool in the context of public health. And I'm going to share two examples of that. Last year in 2022, there is an institution here locally, the University of Tennessee Health Sciences Center, and they launched an initiative. They wanted to center public health more strongly and well-being within their institution. And they created a mind-body wellness summit that was a half-day summit, and invited a lot of different workshops as the Light Festival, workshops around mindfulness, and they included playback as the plenary session as an example of the power of story sharing as a tool for building resilience. And it also gave the festival participants an embodied experience of reflecting on the learning of the day and the connections that they were making with each other. It was received so well that people wanted to continue to what we call practice with playback. So we then launched a series of sessions where we invited both the faculty and staff, so experts within public health and within the healthcare system there at UT Health Sciences Center to come together with the public, because our constituents were included as well, and different artist-led sessions on what we consider to be the foundational attitudes of our practice. So sessions that introduced and created a space for exploration around concepts and attitudes like curiosity and gratitude and patience and trust. And this really supported UT Health Sciences Center staff and faculty to consider how these attitudes, what role they played within their work. And so that's one example of how we're applying playback within the context of public health. And the second story that I want to share is about our Be the Peace work, which is an anti-bullying program. And in this context, we use playback to address the public health issue of bullying with youth. Students learn what bullying is, why and how it's harmful, and how witnesses to bullying can help put an end to it. So playback is really an effective tool for raising visibility around a particular public health issue, creating a context in which people can share personal reflections and stories about the impact, the lived impact of that issue in their lives, and then using some tools of role play and other kinds of interactive theater also to create a space of exploration for how to respond in ways that can be helpful. So we want to share a short video that I think will give you a sense of the work in a little deeper way. Playback is a little bit hard to wrap words around. So we thought this could be helpful, and then we will take some time to actually practice some playback together. So I'll hand it. Yeah, thanks. So can we agree that bullying is making someone feel bad on purpose? Yeah, it does. Be the Peace is an anti-bullying program, and we use the art of playback theater as a way to create a space for young people to reflect on what bullying is, the impact of bullying, and how bullying is harmful for everybody.
Training students to teach other students is very dynamic. They are so wise, and there's so much wisdom there. They had so many perspectives on why someone was bullied or what could be the remedy. And they also have a lot of sensitivity, knowing that they were going to support other students. So it was a very heart-opening experience, I think, for me, and I think it was an opportunity for them to think about the type of leaders they want to be.
I've been in situations where I've been bullied, misunderstood. So the reason why we should talk to people about bullying is simply because to let them know that they're not alone.
When people who are afraid to speak up, this is, I think, is a good way to be more open. Like, this is how I feel on the inside. This is what I really want to say. But maybe seeing somebody else act that out would bring that out in them and then give them the confidence to speak up and start talking. about their problems.
The way I'm gonna take everything that Playback has taught me, I'm gonna continue doing Playback because just seeing how I've grown, I wanna help people grow as well. And Playback really just brought the good and relaxed side of me out more.
What I love about this experience was that it really helps. It helped me be more calm. It helped me be more open about certain things. And instead of me just sitting back and taking everything that hits me, I be more expressive about the things that goes on and how I feel.
What happens in Playback when young people raise their hand and share? I witnessed someone being picked on and I felt really helpless in the moment. I felt scared. I felt sad. And as other students are listening, you know, they become aware, I felt that too. And there's an immediate kind of, you know, connection that happens. And in this context, Playback is a powerful medium for a shared commitment to building a culture where people speak up for each other.
It was pretty adorable seeing the elementary students walk in for my first performance. What I hope what they would take with them is to think what it's like to be the other person. My favorite part was where I was sitting in the person that was being bullied seat, and one of the little girls was so excited to stick up for me. It was very exciting to see that.
I feel inspired by the ones who was helping Jackson when the others were bullying him and hurting his feelings. I'm gonna learn not to bully no one, be kind to everyone, and don't join sides on bullying, because it would make you feel better and also make others feel better too.
Just the way that you recognize, oh, he may need a friend, he may need some support.
I think the role of Playback is crucial because it's therapeutic. The kids get a chance to express their feelings about different experiences, have it be bullying or anything going on in the day. And they get to watch it play back, and it gives them a different perspective. You know, I've noticed the kids laughing. I noticed them just, a light bulb clicks on how to resolve and handle different situations. Just having that different perspective really helps. And we really appreciate Playback for that.
For any school or any community that is seeking to strengthen social emotional learning and introduce mindfulness to young people, Playback is a really powerful way to do that. And it's just so joyful and fun, and the power of this model of training young people to perform alongside of us and to bring this kind of theater to young people around this theme that many of them have had deep experiences. It just creates a depth of meaning and an interconnectedness, and that's what I love about this program. Okay, hopefully you got a little sense of the work in all your senses through that video. And I would love to invite in the chat just anything you noticed. And then we're going to actually give you the opportunity to practice Playback with us. Okay. All right, so I'm going to invite Gio is already there, and Rhonda, are you here? If you're here, can you pop on the screen? No, she's not here. Okay, she had some technological difficulties as we do in Zoom. So,
I am here.
oh.
I am here.
Okay, great, she's here. Well, okay, welcome, Rhonda. We're glad you are here. And so what we'd like to do next is to invite you Those of you that are inspired to turn your cameras on and join us, we welcome you in that. And if you are not, we welcome you not to. In our practice of playback theater, we reflect on how we are, we share that, and then we see it come to life through playback. So you arrived here this morning for the Light Festival, and there was a journey to getting here right now. And I'm going to invite you to consider 1, 2, 3 words that capture what it's like to be here right now. How are you? And you can raise your physical hand, or you can raise your virtual hand, and I'll call on you and you'll share, and then we'll say, let's watch and see it played back by these brave actresses. How are you? How's it going out there? Okay, Idia, I see your hand.
I'm happy to get us going. It always takes
Get us going,
to get it
Idia.
going.
Get us going. You're the person to get us going. Your dream.
So you said 3 words about what got me. I mean, I think coming into Light, being part of the organizers, just worried that everything would go well and
of course
work well, and Zoom would work and nothing would crash, and all of those things. So that was the space I came into.
Yeah. And is there another layer there? I mean, of course, you're hosting a festival for the first time. There's the technological and just like, how's it gonna go? I'm wondering if there's anything else underneath, just about having birthed this beautiful vision with these beautiful people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pride, definitely. Just like we did our first one last year without knowing anything. And this year, like just really worried, like not worried, like excited, and trusting in some ways, like we've done this once, it should be fine. And also just like excited because I knew last year it was a really good space. Even when there were technical things, there was so much, it was the kind of space that I always want to be in. Like I was like, this is what academia should be. This is what work should be like every day. So I think excitement and joy, and just like knowing that there will be light all day today, like just, so maybe assured, maybe is the word, I think.
Yeah, a whole swirl of feelings, which a lot of times we're all carrying around in relationship, to one thing. So thank you for sharing that. And yeah, we'll see this this swirl of joy and excitement and concern and all of it. And I'm going to invite you to turn off. You can see the light. The light. It's festival time.
Excitement. This has happened before, so I know that it's going to be great. This time I'll trust that it's going to be just what we want it to be. Hey, it's a celebration of light, of joy. It's a celebration.
Okay, I'm going to invite you to turn your camera off. And yeah, we just lived through one of those technological moments where I couldn't get my face off the screen. All right. Itty, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry. Can you see us again?
I can't, but that's likely my technological challenge and not yours. Did you see a little of your, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was able to see everything. Yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, actresses. Okay. Let's do one more. And I know that, you know, this working in the public health sector has comes with many challenges and tensions held. Light is a response to that, and I'm wondering if someone just has a word or two about what it has been like to work in public health in the last number of years, and what tensions have been held. And you can raise a virtual hand or a real hand. Or we can go straight to Q&A.
Hi, I don't know if you can hear and see me. This is Cheryl.
Okay, I can hear you. That's great.
Okay, great. So I'm not a frontline worker, but I work in publishing, and we publish a lot on the impact that COVID has had on our public health frontline workers. And I guess I can speak to that a little and just say that in terms of the bullying, it's not just limited to young people, but our public health folks have been very deeply impacted by the kinds of bullying that has taken place about the work that they've been doing to keep us all safe. So I wonder if your team could give us maybe a performance around some of the some of the bullying that's been happening to public health workers in terms of leaders in public health who have been threatened, people who have had their information doxed on the internet, and their families have been threatened. And it's really very traumatizing. And on top of that, public health workers are facing burnout from having to work around the clock and to take on an additional epidemic in addition to their other responsibilities. So in addition to their ongoing projects, they have also had to take on, this monumental task of keeping us safe from COVID. So I just salute them all, and I know you do as well. And I just wonder if you maybe can do a performance in honor of our public health workforce who keeps us all safe.
Yeah, and thank you for so specifically, naming really that the overwhelm of giving your life to this service of public health, and having in many contexts your life and livelihood threatened. What attention that is to hold. I am going to say let's watch, but I would like to ask someone to please tell me how to turn so you're not seeing my face in the enactment. I'm just sorry, Idia, we're living one of those tech moments now.
Virginia, I'll go ahead and remove it once you say let's watch.
Oh yeah, please. Okay. And your name is Cheryl. Let's watch.
Has happened to our safety. I don't feel safe. I don't feel supported. What has happened to the commitment that we made? I no longer feel important. I don't feel safe anymore. Where's my help? Where's my support? What are we going to do? Tired, frustrated, hurt, and disappointment. That's what I am. Where is my help?
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. That was really powerful. And I think it really gets to the core of where a lot of our public health folks are. And I'm so grateful that you all are bringing the light to issues such as bullying, how it impacts people of all ages and in all places. So thank you so much for the work that you do. This is very powerful.
And thank you for your sharing. And maybe just one more, a hope that you have for what could be possible with this, new centering, human-centered, connecting public and experts and healing and transformation in public health.
Festival is the light, and this journal is the light, and this is something that's so novel and so important. And I am so thankful that this, there was a concerted effort this year to really focus on well-being and the lighter aspects of public health, and how this journal and this group is bringing the public into the space who have been excluded from the public health conversation. So that is reason to celebrate. And I think that is, what gives me such inspiration for tackling things like bullying and COVID and any problems that we face. If we face them as a community, then we're stronger. Even though the challenges are tough, we working together can overcome anything probably. We just have to put our work together. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's watch.
Light. Oh, yes, I can see better. And we all can see a little better. We're gonna see much better with light.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Thank you.
Wow. You guys are amazing. That is so wonderful. I have chills right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the gift of your sharing, and thank you, Gio and Rhonda, for the beautiful gifts of your artistry. We'll have a few moments to open the space for questions that people may have. All right. Well, sometimes there are questions and sometimes, they're not. So thank you so much for being present with us here today. And Gio, do you have any other words to offer before we say goodbye?
Only, if you would like to be connected with us and learn about all the programs that we do and what we do in our, every week, please follow us on social media, Playback Memphis, check our website, get into our newsletter, and then we'll be connected.
And before you all head out, we did have one quick question in the chat if y'all wanted to touch on it. It's, how have you worked with remote technology with kids and playback?
I can take that question. So we have a youth ensemble, and during the pandemic, we did use the virtual space as a way to stay engaged. They actually even had an exchange with a youth playback company in Nigeria, and that was wonderful. Right now, we have re-engaged our in-person work, so we are a little less focused on hosting virtual sessions, but we found our special kind of theater actually adapted quite well in the virtual space during the pandemic, and have delivered trainings virtually effectively. So yeah.
And then I think we have time for just one more question. One of the ones that we have is, what is your favorite part of using theater to create meaningful messages, and why? And what is your least favorite part?
I'm going to leave that for Gio and Rhonda.
So, Kristen, did you say what's my favorite part of using theater for? Yeah, well, I mean, as an actress, when I study theater, the playfulness of the art, it opened up doors for me, for myself, that I mean, there's no way to find it if you are not playing. As a child, when you create and imagine, and you are really seriously playing, and play about dreams, play about hopes, play about happy moments, play about feelings that are strong, sadness, and gives you, it gets you close to that with your body and your heart. And I think that playfulness really creates an awareness and a connection with your whole being. So, as an actress, I like to move, but I think people reconnecting with their bodies and with playfulness, it also allows them to get to know themselves and to open the doors for healing. So yes, and less favorite part, I don't think I have a less favorite part right now. Yes. Rhonda, would you like to say something?
Sure. My favorite part would be to be in a position to express points of views and understanding and things like that through the stories, by using not just our verbal communication, but also being able to use movement and sound as an paralleling with my experience as an educator. Sometimes words are not the key. Sometimes the movement can be seen. Sometimes the emotion can be transferred. So being able to bring important messages and important things to the forefront through the use of not just verbal translation, but being able to move around. And my least favorite would be the apprehension of some who have never been to a non-scripted production and not knowing what they will see. And so I guess that would be the least favorite thing about it, just the apprehension of having to convince people that this is something that you definitely want to see and experience. And so that would be my yin and yang.
Yeah, I resonate with both of those. And I think there's this expression, we close with this, that we say a lot in playback. Being listened to is so close to being loved that most people can hardly tell the difference. And I think, when we share playback, that's something that just touches my heart so deeply. You really feel that level of love through this theater. It's a theater of listening and love. So thank you so much for the gift of your presence, and hope to connect soon. Thank you, Idia.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you to everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Rhonda.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the Light Festival.
Yeah. Yeah.